G'day everybody and welcome back. This is a type of job where you think, have I bitten off more than I can chew? A mate of Trevor's, these young fellas got a little Kenworth truck. It's an old one, it's got a Cummins in it. And he bought a new engine, I believe from Tasmania. And when they loaded it on the boat to come across, they wrapped the chain around the pulley on the fan and they broke the cast pulley. No one's been really wanting to have a crack at it. He's asked me if I could make a new one. He supplied the material, which is majorly oversized. The bandsaw's not going to quite cut right through it, so I've got to turn it, obviously. It's got a big feature in the guts here. It's not going to have that because I don't have any trepanning tools. I've told him that it's not going to have that feature, it's just going to be solid. And the diameter is going to have to be around 5mm smaller in diameter. There's a set of clutch plates that run on this face here, supposedly, but apparently that's not going to hurt because I can't fit this under this. The cross slide won't fit under this diameter. Fouls by about 4mm. Just means the fan's going to run a fraction faster than what it normally would. I had a set of bearings pressed in it, so that's going to be a precision bore. This side over here, I don't know what goes in here, so I'm just going to have to make it to what that diameter is. And there's also a lip, about a 2.5mm lip that comes out this back side here. So I think there's a register, must register the clutch or something. To say I'm a little bit worried about this one's a bit of an understatement, because I've never spun something this big in the lathe. Like when you see the piece, the piece of material I got is 220mm diameter. Better make a start on it. Whether it works out successful, who knows? It's worth a try. It's in there. I just got to hope I can cut it off square. If I turn it around, this end here is square, so I might have to sling it back up and turn it around. Well, it started and I'll probably see in a few hours. It's gone full depth, so I've just got to spin it now and hopefully line it all back up. Bit of fiddling around to do now, make sure it is aligned and there we go. Didn't lined up too bad, considering by eye. And that's going to hold itself there. So off camera I'm going to sit there and align this the best I can, true it up. I'd say it's the biggest piece I've ever spun up in my lathe. Probably small to a lot of people, but it's the biggest I've ever done. It's certainly not round, but from this jaw, you can see how much it fluctuates there, to the opposite jaw, this jaw, so I can't sort of get any better than that. Face it off now. So just gnawing away at it, that's about half the width of the pulley. I'm only doing about half to start with, so I haven't got as much stick out on the compound. So the finished diameter of this, basically just so the cross slide will go under it. So I've got a long way to go, as you can see. So I'm just going to keep gnawing away at this. I'll bring you guys back when there's something a bit more exciting. Got the first half of it machined down so it does fit under the cross slide. Ended up with 7" 800 on the money. So the plan is now is to turn the rest of this down. I'm not going to quite get the full width that I need. Just want to bulk this down. So that's about 24mm, that shoulder there. So a lot of material come off. Well, wasn't that a mission? But we got it down to size. Righto, so I'm up to the part that's got me pretty nervous. That's to put the V-grooves in. The reason I'm nervous is this diameter and the rigidity of the lathe. I've got to plunge in 14mm. Just going to see how it goes. So don't judge me on this one. That there is what I was nervous about. Been persevering with this, phoned a friend. Think I might have found the sweet spot. As you can see, I'm slowly getting there, but it's taking a fair old time. Holy dooly, that took a while. That's the depth. Now I just got to widen the bottom out a bit and do the same over on this one. Found running no coolant was better for some unknown reason. Sorry if the camera angles were terrible on that one, but anyway, that was a bit of a mission, wasn't it? I honestly didn't think I was going to get that. Yeah, I got there in the end. Okay, I'm setting the angle of the compound to cut the V-grooves. Now, from what I can measure and the information I've looked up online, 38 degrees included angle. So 19 degrees per side. So the way I've done it is angle blocks, 15 and a 4 degree angle. I did have this clamped to the side, but that's the way I've done it. And when I do the other side, I can, yeah, obviously do it the reverse. Now I'm going to come in and start cutting the angles. In theory, if I've done everything correct, when the tool contacts, well, the bottom corner, when this angle meets that bottom corner, I should be at width. That's if I've done everything correct. I had to change out to the parting tool because the corner went off that insert, the other insert of the grooving tool. I didn't have any more spare inserts, so I'm just gently going in with this one. So I just finished this side of the groove off. That's done, so I'm going to move over and do this one here now. So I apologise I didn't film all that, but I was just seeing how this tool was going to hold up. Seemed to have worked alright. And I just measured this flat that's left, and compared to the old one, it's within 0.1. Yeah, it's pretty darn close. So I think I've got everything right. Famous last words. Might have to put you guys on a time lapse, I think. What I did now was just sped it up a fair bit and just took a real fine cut, and it actually cleaned it up really nice. Okay, we'll start this second side. Rightio, I've only got a second hand belt to look at. That fits quite good. And the same there. So I'm pretty happy with that. So opening this centre bore up, we'll start doing it today anyway. 1 3/4 drill now. Inch and 3/4 hole complete, all the way through. Rightio, I'll bring us up to speed. I don't know what got into my head, but I'd actually forgotten I had this boring bar, that I even made it. I made this, well, for people who just starting to watch, I made this some time ago when I was doing a job. I didn't have enough rigidity in the boring bars I had, so I made this one here. You have to go back and just see it. It's in the video there somewhere. This first bore has to be out to 76 point something mil. It's 3 inches. I'm at 72.9 at the moment. So I didn't bother filming any of the, like this part so far. I think I might have done a bit of a time lapse, but yeah. Anyway, it's just very repetitive, backwards and forwards. Anyway, I'll get this first bore done, and then we can start opening up for the bearings. I've had a couple of interruptions, So I just bring up to where I'm up to now. This is exactly 3 inches, this bore. This face here has to be recessed in 1/2 inch. I'll show you on the original. So as you can see, this one here, this is recessed in exactly 1/2 inch that I can measure. I've said before, it's not having this trepanned section. This will be just all solid, and that works out to about a 40-degree angle. You can pick up that angle on the, it's about a 40-degree angle. Remove this 1/2 inch. Yeah, it'll be just to where I reckon looks right. Okay, I just measured that, the depth. It's actually 12.4 mil. That's not bad, eh? Actually looks pretty good. I realise this is not the same as the old one. The old one, this shoulder comes out to about here. But I want to leave a bit more meat in here. I believe everything's going to fit. If it doesn't, for some unknown reason, it's not very hard to chuck this back up at a later date if this shoulder has to come out a bit further, but I don't believe there's going to be an issue. I'll set back up now and I'll finish this first internal bore. It's got to go out for the bearings, 85 mil. This is one of the bearings out of the old one. They're a 6209, 85 mil diameter. Measuring the bore in the original pulley, it's size for size. You can basically just literally push this in by hand. The depth of this next bore is 40.5 mil long, so I'm going to go in 40 and leave a 1/2 mil for a clean up. So there's about 9 mil to come out of the diameter. I reckon we might have it. Here's the old bearing. Just wanting to start in there. This here needs a, well, the original one's got a fairly heavy chamfer lead in for the bearing, so. Okay, we're moving on to the part that I'm absolutely regretting. And that's turning this whole job around and clocking it back in. Okay, I've clocked this in. I'm well with this needle's bumping around a bit because of the surface finish, but I am within 0.01, well within 0.01. I've spent a fair bit of time doing it. It's the best I can get it, and I've been all over it. Just as a secondary check, put a finger dial in there, and it's within 1 thou. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting that figure because it's sort of tracking on the lines of the rough and cut that I done in here. I don't know, but I'm going to run with it. It's within 1 thou. I actually found some inserts a minute ago. I was pretty happy about that. Forgot I even had them. Would have been easy if I had them when I done them grooves to bulk them out, but anyway. I've got a fair bit of material to come off here. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. I'll bring you back when I've got this ring off. I've got this machine down to the overall width, overall length should I say, which is from this side here to the edge of this lip, outer edge of this lip. Now I've got to turn this section down. It's 2.4mm deep, this relief in here. Obviously there's a series of holes that has to go in. .1086. That is about spot on. I've got 0.08 to come off this face, and right in this little corner, right in this corner here, the other one's got a relief, just a small relief in there, and the only thing left to do then is open up this this last section of the bore. That's that face done, that face is done. Chamfered that edge, only put a light chamfer on there. I'll do a bit more tonight, it's cooled down quite a lot. So this diameter has to be taken out to 95.5mm and 23.5mm deep. Well, that's out to 90mm. It's starting to heat up pretty bad again. Yeah, it's getting too warm, and I'm getting hungry. So I'm going to have dinner and I'll come back in the morning and finish it off. It's after dinner, it's not the next morning. So I went and had some dinner and this had time to cool down. Shooting for 95.5. This depth is at 23.5 now. So 0.45 to come out. I'm going to do it in probably 2 runs. And I've sped the lathe up. In theory, that should have been the last cut. Oh, bloody Siri's talking to me.
Good evening.
Hello, Siri.
Hi, how can I help?
Why did she talk to me? I wasn't even talking to her.
Here are a few things you can try.
Here's hoping. 94.99. I think I might just leave that. It's not hot, it's just not going to shrink. I have to break these 2 edges and put a chamfer on here. There we go, all the lathe work is complete on this job. Okay, got it set up on the mill. I've worked out the PCD of this bolt circle pattern. These are 10/24 screws that go in here. And there's 2 5/16 18s as well, go in there as well. So I've worked out and I've got the DROs set and I went around with a Sharpie marker. Don't look at that mark there, that was a complete screw up on my behalf. Went around with a Sharpie marker and checked myself and everything looks right. So yeah, just drill and tap them now. Hope for the best. So I'm just going to take my time doing this. So I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse because I've got 2 more holes to put in. Forgot about that, 2 5/16 holes. So I might do that now before I tap these. On the other one, they're indexed in between these 2 holes here, obviously. Well, in theory, that's all the holes drilled. I've just got to tap them now. I may have to spin it back up in the lathe just to get rid of these burrs. That countersink must be getting a bit dull. I've tapped all these holes. We had one casualty. That was a brand new 1024 Japanese made tap. Just went pear-shaped. Hence why I didn't film the tapping, because you know my normal luck. It never works out. Okay, so I found this app, or this website on the internet, and you can put in, I just put in mild steel, round bar, 220mm width, and the part that I started with was around 115 long. So I'll calculate that, it comes out at 34.32 kilos that I started with in the lathe. So I'm going to say 34. So around 34 kilos is what I started with. So I'm going to weigh that now. I went and weighed it on the bathroom scales, and I flogged the young fella's fishing scales. So we're coming in at, oh, you can see that there, about 8¼ kilos. Going by the young fella's scales anyway, which on the bathroom scales it weighed exactly the same. So all up, about 25 odd kilos of material come off that job, which is a fair bit. I better take these back before he knows I knocked them off. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was definitely a big job. I didn't realise there was going to be so much material removed, like weight wise, and it took a fair while to do this job. I know people are going to comment that the material is way oversized, but that's what he supplied. It's pretty limited down here unless you order something in especially, and then you're going to pay through the nose for it. So you just got to work with what you got, and that's what I had to do this time. That's what he supplied, that's what I had to work with. But anyway, job's done. I can give him a ring now and he can come and pick it up, and then he can do what he likes and get it back on the engine and, yeah, get the motor back running again. Yeah, I realise people are going to ask, why didn't he just source a second-hand one? So apparently at the time, yeah, he was looking around for one. He couldn't find one. He couldn't find a second-hand one. They were just unavailable. So I don't know where he looked or what he done, but he just chose to get one made. I ended up getting rid of that little bit of a blemish I put in the back of there too. I got that out, thankfully. But I'm happy it's finished. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and see you next week. Hooroo.